LAPD. Could we have a word?
Takes a certain animal cunning, lad. Do you think you might be ready for that?
What have we got?
2 stiffs, overdosed. The victim was dead before the car hit him.
Hey, GRTV in the middle of the freaking desert. That's Christian from Germany and
me.
That's Petter from Sweden, and we're gonna be talking about LA Noire. So Petter played the game. He invested almost 20 hours of his life into it. And what is like the biggest main impression you have about being Cole Phelps?
For me, it actually was kind of a surprise to me what kind of game it actually was, because Rockstar has been marketing in a way that made me feel like it's going to be another sandbox adventure, kind of GTA but more story driven. But it's, of course, it's sandbox gameplay in there and free roaming after each mission, but it's in the gameplay core, it's still an old action adventure, kind of the old adventure game from Sierra, like, and LucasArts and the Police Quest games and stuff like that. So I was a bit surprised, but pleasantly surprised.
Spill it, or we take you out in the alley and we knock it out of you.
When I saw the game, I always thought it was so slow, really, really, really slow, and was afraid that people might actually be sort of distracted from the game because it is so slow. They just don't enter it at all.
Maybe that is going to be the case with people that definitely, and also in a bigger way than me, are expecting something else, because it is very slow. It's a slow-paced adventure game where you do the same thing over and over again, but you get kind of the immersion in solving the cases after a while gets, when you rank higher as a police officer and you switch departments, you start collecting evidence from murders and stuff like that. The tension just builds in a really classy and elegant way, but it's a slow-paced game, really slow-paced, and there are some issues with not being varied enough in the kind of the mid-piece of the game, the 5-hour stretch from traffic cop to vice cop. There are portions that I wasn't too impressed with, but overall I'm really impressed.
Can you run us through what a typical mission would look like in the game?
Absolutely. When the first hour you play as a patrol officer, doing kind of the groundwork, just going to crime scenes and gathering suspects in a police car, taking them into arrest, and then you gradually get promoted into vice and homicide, and then it's all about going to a crime scene, investigating the bodies, investigating stuff that has been spread around, like cans and matchbox cases and letters and clothing and picture frames, and you gather names, you gather names on places, you gather intel by looking at the bodies, if they were hit with some sort of tire iron or a bat, something like that. And then you go to different places and interview people, and by looking in their faces, which is definitely the best part of the game, just the face animation with the motion scan technique, you can sense if they're telling the truth or not. You can pressure them, you can say that you're doubting what they are saying or calling them out on their lies. And then you get new clues, and then you go deeper and deeper into the case until the point where you can grab a suspect, drive him to the police station, and you can really press him hard in the interrogation room, and hopefully you solve the case.
Okay, but where's the action part? It's a Rockstar game.
A shooting at the 111 Club.
Half a dozen shooters, sir. Real professionals. Put down your weapons. The bank is surrounded.
Destruction of public property, harassment. Jesus Christ!
There isn't that much action, and I'm really curious to see if the game reactor readers are going to be fine with it, or just start screaming, where's the action, where's the free roam, where's all the carjacking, because there's not a lot of action. I played it, it took me just about 18 hours, and I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying that maybe 40 minutes of that was pure action.
That's not a lot for a Rockstar game, if you think about it, but I mean, who would you think be like the person playing this game? Is it more like the Call of Duty kid, or is it somebody else?
Hopefully it's both, because me, if I look back 15 years, I was an adventure freak. I loved the Sierra games, I loved the LucasArts games, and I kind of forgot about it. Police Quest, Grim Fandango, Full Throttle, Maniac Mansion, Day of the Tentacle, those are actually old favorite games of mine. But I forgot it on the way to becoming an action-orientated kind of arcade freak that just played for an hour and switched games and played for another hour. For me, it was a revival. Heavy Rain was too, of course. Heavy Rain was the start of it, but it's been kind of a revival for me to go back to a slow-paced, exciting, tension-filled kind of gameplay. And hopefully, the core production values in LA Noire is some of the best I've ever seen, no matter what genre. Hopefully, everybody's going to enjoy it.
You needed the money, so you killed her. That's not true, goddammit! I thought you'd been under fire before.
A well-scripted story in terms of good acting. You always have to applaud to, obviously.
Yeah, the acting is absolutely insane. There's, for me, the best cutscenes that I had seen acting and directing-wise before LA Noire was Uncharted 2. This blows Uncharted 2 right all into the water. It's so much better in every way, and it's one of the directors behind season 1 and 2 of the TV hit Mad Men, who has been directing a lot of sequences, and there's 404 real actors doing acting work inside the cutscenes. It's the story itself, when it kind of starting to wrap up, the last 4 hours is fantastic, and the acting is the best I've seen. The cutscenes are the best I've ever seen.
That sounds good. Is there anything else that people need to know about this game that you have to tell us?
Not really. I don't want to spoil anything, because the story, even though it doesn't feel like it when you're playing it, it is one big story instead of just a lot of small cases. Because when in the end you start to figure out that, okay, all the cases, maybe not all, but 99% of all the cases that I've been working on ties together in the end for this kind of big thing that goes on in Los Angeles. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's just, for me, it was a superb experience, and the sheer atmosphere of the 1947 Los Angeles is absolutely amazing, with the music and the clothes and all the details, and reading the newspaper in the morning, going into the police headquarters and getting briefed by the sergeant. It's an amazing atmosphere, and you want to stay there. It's the single best time machine I think I've ever tried in a game. I just want to stay. I'm a Frank Sinatra fan and a Mad Maniac. I love Mad Men. So for me it was a love at first sight.
This is your chance. Don't fail me.
We're done for now.